Red Bull doesn't just sell energy drinks. They sell a movement, an experience, and a lifestyle. And that's why they've become one of the biggest, most dominant, untouchable brands in the world. Most brands focus on products and promotions, but Red Bull did something slightly different. They built an entire ecosystem around their brand. They built a world where their product is one part of a much bigger story. Today, we're going to break down Red Bull's branding superpower, which is its brand ecosystem, and how they've leveraged that to create unshakable loyalty, category dominant, and a business model that goes far beyond the can. More importantly, we're going to unpack what this means for your brand, because this approach isn't just for billion-dollar businesses. You can take these principles and use them on your brand and build a brand that people don't just buy from, they belong to. The problem most brands face is they get trapped in a cycle of short-term thinking, focusing on selling the product rather than building a world the product lives in. They run ads, push promotions, and focus on features. But here's the thing, features can be copied, prices can be undercut, and ads can be ignored. What can't be copied? A brand that people emotionally connect with. And Red Bull understood this early. They realized they weren't just selling an energy drink, they were selling a community and a culture that people could buy into. They were selling adrenaline, performance, and a counterculture. And instead of marketing their drink, they created an ecosystem that made Red Bull part of a way of life. So what makes Red Bull's brand ecosystem so powerful? Most companies market their product, but in Red Bull's case, they market the energy, adrenaline, and adventure that their product enables. They sell the result, the transformation, the aspiration, not the product itself. And this is where their brand ecosystem comes in. So rather than relying on traditional marketing, Red Bull isn't just a brand, they're a media powerhouse. They've actually built a system where they can own their own media. They produce high-end documentaries, extreme sports films, and online content that racks up millions of views. So instead of paying for ad space, they are the ad. Number 2, sponsorships and athlete partnerships. Embodying their brand identity, Red Bull handpicks athletes, sports, and partnerships that directly align with their brand's identity. From Formula One to cliff diving, to air racing, to esports, anything that aligns with their brand's identity of energy, adrenaline, and adventure will be something that Red Bull would look at as a potential partnership. If it's high performance, adrenaline driven, and culture shaping, then Red Bull will potentially have a hand in it. And they don't just sponsor these industries, they embed themselves into them and become part of the culture. Number 3, events such as Red Bull Flugtag, Red Bull Rampage, and Red Bull Stratus, the list goes on. These aren't marketing campaigns, these are immersive experiences that bring people into the Red Bull lifestyle. Number 4, brand storytelling. Red Bull makes every touch point an opportunity to tell a story and build an experience for their audience. Red Bull's content isn't about the drink, it's about the people, the stories, and the lifestyle that align with the brand's DNA. Whether it's the Stratus space jump or a mini documentary on an extreme athlete, the focus is always high performance, adrenaline fueled, high energy lifestyles. And because of this, people don't just see Red Bull, they feel it. And one of the quickest ways to build a brand in your audience's mind is to create emotional connections to the audience through your brand. So if you can make them feel something, they're more likely to remember your brand. And if you can make it something that lives in a world like Red Bull has done, that continually taps into the same things that the product gives them and where they want to be and the lifestyle they want to have, if you can continually hit that with the events, with the media, with the documentaries, what you do is you continually reinforce those connections, that emotional feeling, high energy, high performance, adrenaline, adventure, and also the brand just sitting there the whole time. So reinforcing those connections continually, and Red Bull do this so well. So how does this help you solve your branding problems? Well, the biggest challenge most businesses face is differentiation. If you only compete on product, features, and price, you'll be stuck in a continual battle that you can't control. Someone can always outspend, undercut, or innovate faster than you. But take Red Bull. They play a different game. Instead of focusing on what they sell, They focus on what they stand for. And that's the secret. Red Bull is no longer just a brand. It is a movement, a culture, and a world that people want to be part of. When you build a brand bigger than your product, you create an ecosystem where your customers aren't just buyers, they're believers. And this is how you build long-term brand dominance. So how can you apply this to your own brand? You don't need Red Bull's budget to build a brand ecosystem. You just need their mindset and the right strategy. Here's how to start. Number one, define your brand's world. So what themes, mindset, or lifestyle does your brand represent? Think beyond what you sell. What do people associate with your brand? Number two, shift from ads to content. Instead of just pushing ads, create content that educates, informs, inspires, or entertains your audience, or a combination of these. You can do this by creating a blog, a YouTube channel, a podcast, a video series, a newsletter, a physical newsletter, whatever it is, something that aligns with your brand, but builds upon what you represent to your audience. Red Bull do this in a great way by creating media, events, experiences, documentaries, all of which go back into reinforcing Red Bull's connection to the feeling of high energy, high performance adventure. If you can create things that remind people of the connection you have to them, so what do you represent in their life, and utilize different ways of communicating that to your audience, you will have what Red Bull has, an ecosystem of content, of marketing channels, of different ideas that go far beyond the product you sell. Number three, create experiences, not just products. Find interesting ways to engage your audience outside of just transactional. So can you put on events? That could be online, that could be in person. It could be even in the buying process on a website. What can you do to make it smoother, faster, more intuitive, more in line with what your brand is? If you're a fun, playful brand, can you add that in? All these things that you can do at every touch point to create better, more memorable, distinctive brand experiences that continue to reinforce what your brand stands for, and the identity of it is only gonna make it more memorable, stick in your audience's mind, and get it to the place like Red Bull has, with an ecosystem of adoring fans. The key takeaway, your brand is bigger than what you sell. And if you build an ecosystem around your brand, you become more than just a product. You become part of people's lives. And Red Bull is proof that if you think bigger than just your product, you can create something that no competitor can copy. So what's one thing you can do this week to start building your brand's ecosystem? Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to find out where your brand is strong, where it's weak, and what's holding it back, there is a link to our 4-minute brand power assessment in the description below. It will take you through a number of questions over 5 different areas of your brand and give you a report at the end of it with a percentage score out of 100, which will give you the areas to focus on to build your brand and make it more memorable. Link in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please subscribe using the button below. And don't forget to hit the like button as well. Videos come out weekly and they're designed to help you unlock your brand's full potential so you can stand out from the competition and create more impact. Have a great week, catch up soon, and keep those brands unified.